Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about why abstinence for life or staying away from deprivation or even from orgasm for life is a myth. Now, early in my reboots, when I wanted to end my behavior, and this might be the same case for you, I really believed that I wanted to be done with pornography and masturbation forever. And I truly felt that I had to stay away from porn and masturbation forever while limiting and my sexual behavior because I felt that that was going to be a risk. So what this meant essentially was that my sex life would have to die unless I was in a committed relationship. Now, you might be listening to this and going like, well, JK, that makes sense because don't we need to stay off PMO, porn, masturbation, and orgasm in order for our brain to rewire? Yes, it does help. However, the question I started asking myself was, where did this idea come from? Where did the idea, even before PMO and the impact of high-speed internet in our brain became common knowledge? Well, it's not really common knowledge, but a lot more men know about this. Where did we get that idea that we had to stay away from pornography, masturbation forever and ever, right? In order for us to reboot. And I started asking this question because I was slipping a lot. And here's what I discovered. Now, just have an open mind about this, okay? Whenever I told myself that I was going to completely stay off masturbation, I felt like I was carrying a burden. Don't get me wrong. I experienced a lot of positive benefits in my life. I felt happier. I could focus more. I had a lot less guilt. But my shame didn't go away. And what I mean by shame is the feeling that I was a bad and unworthy person. Here's why it didn't go away. It didn't go away because the belief I had was a take it day by day, right? And when you get to a certain point, you need to maintain your recovery. So I felt as if I was carrying this burden that even though I was enjoying all these positive benefits of ending my behavior and not doing pornography, not acting out sexually, not masturbating compulsively at all, I wasn't doing any of these things. I felt that if I messed up, I had so much to lose, that I would lose all these benefits. And because I was carrying this heavy burden, I still felt like I was unworthy because it hadn't left me. The burden was with me. And all it took was one slip for me to go back into that pit, that shame. So it's almost as if you're shackled to this heavy burden that you have to carry with you. It's as if that is somehow the price that we have to pay for recovery. And it didn't work for me. It really didn't. I have a chip on my shoulder. I want to accomplish something. I want to prove things to myself, right? And maybe some people may feel that that's not the most healthy thing, but it's helped me get quite far in life compared to where I feel I would be if I didn't have a chip on my shoulder. There were many things I wanted to accomplish, but it was as if I kept trying to swim and kind of make it to the surface because I couldn't breathe, but there was this burden pulling me down. I was doing well. I was using the strokes, but it was just so hard with the burden and the fear of slipping. And so I decided that I was going to let go of the burden. I decided that it didn't matter if I went day by day without pornography. Like, why were the slips so important, right? Another thing I started feeling, brothers, was that I started feeling incredibly deprived, right? Because it's not sexual behavior. We are men. And I was young. I was in my early 20s. I had sexual urges. I had high testosterone levels. I wanted to succeed at many things, but I saw women, I observed women. I wanted to have sexual experiences. I wanted to be in a relationship. And increasingly, I would feel that it was so unfair that I couldn't have sex, that I had to wait till I was in a committed relationship, that I had to take it day by day. There was just so much pressure on me, right? And so I gave up the deprivation. I gave up all those things. Now, what I did do, and this is one of the things that forms one of the principles in the PornReboot system, was that I stopped worrying about the slips and I stopped worrying about abstinence. I still set up boundaries. I still developed coping strategies for the things that triggered me. I still focused on taking care of my unresolved issues. But here's the thing. I wasn't doing any of these things or focusing on them. They were always secondary earlier on. And the abstinence thing and the day by day thing was always the most important thing. So once I switched it around and I made the dealing with my unresolved issues, changing my environment, learning how to manage my strong emotions, dealing with boredom, finding out the things that were causing me to be lonely and feel like I need intimacy. Once I started focusing on those things first and less on the slips and abstinence, my life actually started changing. And that is one of the key principles in PornReboot.com, is that we do not focus on abstinence all the way or taking it day by day or on counting. We actually focus on the work that you uniquely need to do in order to stop using high-speed internet, pornography, and compulsive masturbation or even sex as a coping mechanism. That's what we do. I hope that made sense, brothers.